Hello, and welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you. Hello, Ashley.
Hello. Take 2 for us, guys.
Yep, we want to make sure all of our ducks is in a row, or at least crowding together in the same space.
Well, we record over Zoom, right? So every week that we can get this done without technical difficulty is a beautiful week. And my Zoom has decided to be a little difficult today, but we're making it. We're here. So happy to be back on the mic for another week or another episode, because we already had Tuesday's episode that dropped. So if y'all haven't listened, we already have a recap out this week.
Check it out. Picture this, starring Simone Ashley from Bridgerton fame. And one of the things I realized I forgot to say in that episode, we've come to know and love her from Sex Education on Netflix. So that was my first introduction.
Always forget that she was in that freaking show.
Yeah, she was part of the popular kids, right?
Yep, you're right.
Love it. All right, Ashley, I do have a cold opening question for you. And I'm inspired by R&B only. They were asking artists, what's the perfect R&B album?
I know I saw a lot of people said Confessions. I saw one person said one of the Brandy albums. Full Moon, I think it was.
Full Moon, always, yes.
The perfect R&B album for me with no skips. Everybody loves Confessions, but my favorite Usher album is 8701. So
Confessions is my favorite Usher though.
8701, I have a lot of nostalgia tied to that album. I love that album. Even deep cuts like Can You Help Me? Deep cuts to people who don't listen to anything but Usher singles, let me be clear.
Yes.
How Do I Say? Like, come on. How do I say hello? I just want to talk to you. I mean, shut it down, Usher. So if we're gonna stay in that vein, Usher's definitely up there. Beyonce is a no skips album for me. Yes. Who else on the R&B side? I'm sure, oh my goodness, I'm sure there's so many I'm just not thinking of off the top of my head right now. I really love, and y'all, I don't know how many people get into JoJo, but JoJo's album, let me find the name of it real quick because I'm terrible with song and album names. But I actually love the acoustic version of this album even more than just the regular version of this album. It's Good to Know is the title of the album. She had like 3 versions of it. And I love this album down. Like, I even listen to it when I work out. Like, when I hit the elliptical, I listen to the acoustic version of this album. I just love it so much.
Wow.
Who else for albums? Y'all making me, I'm gonna have to go pull up my albums.
One of the albums listed that I also agree is the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill.
Yeah, it's a classic. Everyone knows it's a classic. You know what I mean? Just like with Confessions. Oh, these are classics. What else? 24 Karat Magic, Bruno. I love that album.
I didn't know if we were doing cultural appropriation or not.
You know what? Say what y'all want about Bruno.
Gets a pass.
Say what y'all want about Bruno. That's my guy. That's my guy.
Listen, he knows how to produce and create an album for sure. I'm a John Legend fan, so once again was my jam back in the day.
Chilombo, Janae Aiko, that's the album I fell in love with her on, so that's up there for me. Yeah, there's a lot for R&B. There's a lot.
I know this is your genre, so that's why
it is.
She's gonna have a time for
Back of my
sure.
mind, her, yes. Yes. So it's hard. So I won't bore y'all just going and naming a whole bunch of people because I can name you probably one from almost every artist that I love. And we're not even talking, back in the day R&B,
Right.
90s, we could go back, but we'll stick to today. And those are some of the ones that for me are definitely up there as far as no skips.
And if we're talking about people outside of the circle, the evolution of Robin Thicke went hard. Back in
Oh,
the
Robin
day.
still
Back in
has
the
the voice
day,
of an angel, but
before blurred lines, and he lost his ever loving mind.
It's that fame thing. Ooh, it's the light. Talk about music. Action, Hollywood. It gets you, it blinds you. That man had never had that level of fame and success, and it about drove him crazy.
It's not for everyone. Isn't that what Jay says?
Not for everyone.
All right. To our lovely audience, today is going to be a little bit different. Today is full of headlines because the only hot topic is very political, i.e., somebody was texting the wrong people. I'm laughing from crying, y'all. So we just gonna keep it cute, keep it simple. Okay. Let's start with our girl Zendaya. I am looking at Deadline. Barry Jenkins teams with A24 for Zendaya starer Be My Baby about music legend Rodney Spector. Looking here, it says exclusive. A24 is adding to its partnership with megastar Zendaya and her film on the life of singer Rodney Spector, with Barry Jenkins coming on board to direct. This is exciting. Zendaya is a producer on this film, and before Rodney passed away in 2022, she handpicked Zendaya for the role. It's going to be interesting because they said that Zendaya and Jenkins, who have been looking to work together for some time, agreed on a version of Spector's life that could immerse audiences in what the singer's life was, what the singer's life with the troubled producer Phil Spector felt like, rather than the traditional cradle to grave biopic. So this is interesting. I think there's only a handful of biopics that aren't cradle to grave. You know what I mean? Where it's like a moment in time. But we love a good cradle to grave biopic, i.e., Ray, and what's love got to do with it.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah,
mean, I get the decision to focus on certain aspects of people's lives so you can have a more in-depth, not film necessarily, but like a more in-depth story to dive into. In-depth and dive into sound very synonymous. I'm sorry. But I just watched the Angelina Jolie opera
yes,
singer biopic, and you also had
a
the
week with
Bob Dylan,
Marilyn.
well, the Bob Dylan biopic
Yes,
with Timothée Chalamet that just came out. And
yes.
y'all forgive this glitchy episode and next week's episode, by the way, if they are not as smooth as usual, because I'm seeing so many glitches in my Zoom right now, and we're going to smooth it out as much as possible, but forgive us in advance. And I think my question sometimes when they don't do a cradle to grave is how much would those artists appreciate this one section of life? Like the opera
Yes.
singer film with Angelina Jolie was a bit bleak. And I was like, of this extraordinary woman's life, I wonder if, because I was not familiar with her, if the introduction she would want to be on the big screen to the world would be the final days of her life versus some very, triumphant moment in the history of her career. And obviously people have artistic license to make those decisions, but as the person or the person's family, I don't think I like it.
Well, the movie We Shall Not Speak of, Nina, starring Zoe Saldana, was also a moment in time versus the beginning to end of life. So
Yet another reason never to watch that film potentially, as if we needed another one. Again, I
you know
love Zoe,
what I
but no.
completely forgot? You know who walks away unscathed? Is freaking David Oyelowo. He stars in that movie with her. And for whatever reason, I did not know that. But for whatever
That's
reason,
just
I never watched it.
I
So
didn't
yeah.
remember ever even seeing him in trailers, so that's probably why it doesn't stick out for me.
Exactly. Exactly. He didn't get
He kept his nose
uh,
clean. He said, I am Martin Luther King. And we talk about a biopic. Selma.
also a moment in time, not an entire
And a triumphant moment.
yes, yes. And let's pray that it still means something today.
Don't make me sad, Delora.
Seriously. All right. In more happy news. So, this is a continuation of the conversation we had last week. This is an exclusive for Essence, the latest with Loren LoRosa to premiere on iHeartRadio and Charlemagne the God's Black Effect Podcast Network. LaRosa's pop culture series premieres March 31st with new episodes airing daily. So, you know, talk about making lemons into lemonade, Ashley. The show is, quote, pop culture moves fast, and I want to give listeners a smart, fun, straightforward, and mostly an informed take on what's happening every single day. Whether you're a pop culture junkie or just trying to keep up, this podcast is your front row seat to the conversation and what's happening. So, this is big. She gets her whole show. Is this a good compromise, Ashley?
So Van is a friend of Loren and has talked about this on Higher
Yes.
Learning because they work together at TMZ. And he was saying this is not
Yeah.
just on the
Yep.
heels of the drama with Just Hilarious, that this has been in the works.
Right.
So I know that right now it seems like she's capitalizing on a moment, and that's great. But this really was already in the works and something that she had up her sleeve. It is interesting that it's Charlemagne's network because I'm sure to some it may seem
Yeah.
like he's like kind of taking a side. But again, if this has been in development and they've had a relationship and had a deal going, then great for her. I mean, it doesn't seem like anyone can negate Lauren's talent and the fact that she has the ability to deliver the news and deliver it well. So if this is like pop culture with her wit and her banter and her news coverage, then I'm sure it'll be great.
Yeah, I hear you. I heard the same thing. This isn't something new. However, apparently Jess wasn't informed of this. You know what I mean? Like, is this one of those
Yet another
situations
thing.
where they kept from her? Like, you mean to tell me you couldn't clue her in? Because she, again, sis went on live talking about defending her role at the show and trying to figure out who this other woman over here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
But back to them not telling Jess, this is the first I'm hearing about that. And so it would just be more adding more fuel to the fire if that's the case. But hopefully it won't cause any more tension with Jess and with Loren because I would hate to see it.
and does that mean she still keeps her spot
Yeah, great question. I mean, I don't get the sense
on
that
the
she's getting let
Breakfast
go.
Club?
I don't get the sense she's getting let go. So, yes.
Hmm. Okay. Well, I'm always here for Black women thriving. So good luck.
Indeed.
All right. Now, this was surprising. I'm looking at E! News. Garcelle Bouvet announces exit from Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. All right, Ashley, I know we aren't on the Real Housewives bandwagon like that, but as I've said previously on the mic, if I'm gonna watch a franchise, it's gonna be this one, and Potomac. Those are my two faves. And this is major because the reason why I started watching Beverly Hills is because she joined several seasons ago, 5 seasons ago. She was the first Black woman to be on Beverly Hills. And I'm like, yes, sis, represent Black luxury.
Yeah.
We also love her as Fancy from the Jamie Foxx show 90s. But yeah, I'm disappointed personally though, because we just got Badass Bows on the show, right? I'm like, 2 Black women on Beverly Hills? Yes, we're winning. But not even one season. And Garcelle is out. It makes me sad. Supposedly she walked out during the reunion show. Since then, with Look Who's I want to say Look Who's Talking, but Andy Cohen show had Erica Jane and Bose on his show last night, and they were talking about Garcelle's exit, and it was a little shady, like, oh, what? But that reunion show was months ago, so they knew it was happening. They were just like, oh, well, hate to see her go. I don't know, man. What do you think? Like, can we have more than one Black woman on a show? On a popular reality TV show, please?
Only Atlanta, maybe?
And Potomac.
Oh, right. I always forget about Potomac because I've never seen it, but I forgot
It's
that's the
so
one that
good.
is that
It's
the
so
one Nicki
messy.
Minaj did the reunion for was Potomac?
Ooh. Was that had to have been something during the pandemic or something, right?
Or she just said she wanted to. I can't remember if she actually did, but she at least said she wanted to. But maybe I had a dream that she did if she didn't.
It was the Potomac.
She did
Yeah,
do it.
season
I'm not
6.
tripping.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
you are correct. Shout out to your memory.
Don't never seen it, but remember that reunion. Yeah, I mean, I think if this is what Garcelle wants and this is what's best for her and her family, great. I don't know how people survive on these shows for season after season after season. It seems so toxic and unhealthy.
Yes. And she announced that she wanted to spend time with her sons who are going into their last year of high school. Oh my goodness. That makes me so sad. Yeah. And she says she has projects. And it's so funny, on her social media today, she posted that she was in the Spider-Man movie, Long Way from Home. I'm like, she's trying to show you that she got that Marvel check. You know what I mean?
There you go. I don't need this Bravo money.
So good luck, Garcelle, in your new endeavors. We enjoyed her in Survival of the Thickest. So hopefully she's in season 2.
Which
I
is
think she
dropping
is.
the day this episode drops, I believe.
So excited for that. She'll be all right. And the door's still open for her on the show. So it's not like she was actually fired.
Come back and get that rose anytime. Is it rose? No, that's the Bachelor. What do they get? They got a
I
peach
was
for
about
Georgia.
to
What do they get
say,
for
no.
what do they get?
Beverly
They don't have
Hills?
anything?
That's a great question. I don't know. It's been a minute. Is it champagne or something?
I don't know.
Diamonds. They hold a diamond.
Got it. That makes sense.
Yes, the glitz and the glamour. All right. Our next headline on Billboard. Nelly says he married Ashanti because I didn't want her to be a baby mama. Ashley, I thought this was interesting. I feel like 2 things. One, he's on this press tour talking about Ashanti because he knows that everyone else has shunned him, right?
Yep.
For being an active participant of this latest administration's inaugural activities, right? And then 2, I'm like, does he want to agitate all the podcasters on social media. Like this whole conversation of, you know, I don't know. I don't even want to divulge on what this is going to even erupt, but I just thought this was very interesting, Ashley. And I'm surprised he actually said it.
And is that true? Like, are you saying you didn't love Ashanti, or are you saying that, just in the way that his thought process at the time was like, well, that was the logical next step versus I would have never gotten married had she not gotten pregnant. I just think there's a lot of ways to take it. And clearly lately he has
Yes.
not been thinking before he speaks, or if he has, he's not very wise in his thoughts. But I could say a lot more, and I'm trying to be kind because Nelly is definitely
Yeah.
on my shit list now.
Yeah. I just, I was like, okay, you have other children. Like, I think he did say something along the lines of like, with this being the second time around, it's like, well, this is it. We together, you know? So
Whatevs.
sure. It's giving Jagged Edge. We ain't getting no younger. We might as well do it. When I told my friends, so I was always very serious, obviously, growing up. And I was very mindful of lyrics. And my friends were just singing along to it. I'm like, y'all know this ain't romantic, right? Like,
Girl, let's just get married.
what's the song for? Seriously.
At least they were honest, I guess.
We'll take it. We'll take it. All right. Now, I thought this was really juicy when this was hitting the social media earlier this week, but I'm looking at Variety, or I'm sorry, I'm looking at Vanity Fair. Pedro Pascal and Jennifer Aniston are not dating, but they do party together. So after a 3 hour martini meetup in West Hollywood sparks dating rumors, Pascal clarified the status of their very good friendship. If you're really high at a party, make eye contact with Jen Aniston and she'll calm your central nervous system. Like, he's so wacky. Oh my God, who makes a statement like that? So basically, they had a kiki. They weren't together, even though he is appearing on the Apple TV series, The Morning Show. I thought it would be fun if they were together because Pedro is the internet's boyfriend and I'm here for it.
I don't know what Pedro's sexuality is, but it has been highly speculated in these comments
Yes.
that I've seen. So I don't know. I mean, would they be an interesting pairing? For sure. We haven't seen Jen Aniston with anyone publicly since Justin Theroux. So I'm curious as to what the next flavor looks like for her. Pedro is a hottie. Pedro is seems genuine and sweet and fun and funny. So I would be here for this. And I would love to see Jen with a great guy.
Same. Agreed. And yeah, obviously, Pedro's sexuality is his business. And I think that's very intentional on his point of like not speaking on it, but people have speculated a lot on it. I think the general is that he might be in the middle. So either way, he looks like a great time. I like to have a 3 hour martini conversation with Pedro. We will talk about everything from Game of Thrones to Narcos.
To maybe some stuff outside of his job.
It would be a time would be had actually. All right, let's go ahead and get into our final headline. Girl, first of all, what does this beef look like truly? Like, I really hope none of this is true because this drama just seems completely unnecessary to me. But I'm looking at the root. It says, whoa, an unhappy Nia Long allegedly puts hands on Sherri Shepherd on the red carpet. Here's what we know. It's opening night for Denzel Washington's Othello, which shout out to the legend, the highest grossing Broadway play like ever. It's him along with Jake Gyllenhaal. So love that for him. And it was star studded. He even had good old Joe there. It makes me sad. I'm not gonna think about it too much. But basically, Sherri was like, I'm drinking my water, minding my business, and somebody rolled up on me, an unnamed celebrity, saying, I know you've been shading me a lot and I don't like it. I'm not having it. And Sherri's like, what you talking about? Honestly, again, I hope this isn't true. It makes no sense because when has Nia Long been in the news?
Never.
For Sherri to be shading her.
Except for the basketball coach.
But that was several
scandal.
years ago at this rate.
I'm saying that's been the only time ever in the history of her career I've ever heard anything scandalous about the Nia Long. So.
And people online, of course, taking sides. Going as far as, like, in this article, it says, for Nia Long to confront you, you did some shit. Sherri Shepherd, count your days. I'm like,
that.
It says Nia Long could have grabbed Sherri by her damn wig and swung her around like a helicopter, and I would not give a damn.
I mean, because who has more cultural cachet? It's Nia Long. Of course,
Nia does. Yeah. And we respect Sherri, obviously, because, I mean, she's the hostess with the mostest, starting off at The View and now got her own show.
I don't think anybody dislikes Sherri Shepherd. It's just like if you stack these two women against each other.
Yeah.
Nia Long.
It is. But again, I think it's interesting the route picked these online conversations because the ones that I've seen in the comments were saying things like, well, Neo hasn't always been sunshine and rainbows either. So, okay, sure. Like, can we all just get along?
We first had Sanaa Lathan stacked up against Beyonce.
Yes.
Now Nia Long against Sherri Shepherd. What's going on with my actresses of a certain era?
It just feels unnecessary. And again, at the end of the day, these are small beans compared to the world we're living in. So honestly, was there any hot topics? Like, again, like I know it was my my turn to curate, but I'm telling you, what's going on in these streets? Seriously,
I don't know. I was in Denver. Shout out to my work team. I was not looking hard at the internets at the moment. So I don't know. But again, some weeks are a little bit more of a lull, good or bad. And life be lifing no matter what. So
we are adults with jobs.
Exactly. Plenty of other things going on.
But what I'm saying also is it has been light. But there was also some major news today. The cast for Avengers Doomsday. They're bringing back X-Men for this.
Knew that was coming.
So excited for it. Everyone from Chelsea to James Marsden. Again, I think it's incredibly lazy for Marvel to have Robert Downey Jr. play
Dr.
Doom. Like, what? How are we even going to? Isn't somebody going to be like, he looks really familiar? Like,
but it's also, I mean, for me as a big RDJ as Iron Man fan, you're taking the bite out of that portrayal now and out of that exquisitely painful death that I cried on in theaters.
Yes.
By bringing this man back in another iteration of the universe. Like when it was revealed, I was deflated. Because for one, I'm not a
Easy.
big fan of the Fantastic Four series. So of all the series for you to do this with too,
Yeah.
I was like, this
Yeah.
isn't even like you bringing him back for something I love. Like I love
Yeah.
Robert Downey Jr. as Iron Man.
Agreed. Agreed. He did such a phenomenal job. I mean, even his relationship with Spider-Man. Um,
Yes.
like, are we gonna see Tom? Our other favorite Tom Hiddleston, Loki.
Loki.
He'll be there. I'm excited for that. Anthony Mackie is gonna be there as Captain America, and Simu Lee showing up. I'm like, I need a second one of those movies
That movie was
pronto.
so good.
Right? So
Yeah.
freaking good. Why are they dragging their feet with the sequel?
I don't know, but you know what wasn't good? Latest Captain America. I'm
You
sorry.
saw it.
I went and saw it in theaters because I support my Black people when they're in starring roles.
I typically
And
do too. I didn't know you were going to see him. You next
I
time let me
I
know.
I went and saw it and I wanted to love it. I think it unexpectedly had elements that don't thrill me. It was not about Anthony Mackie's performance at all, but the storyline and the pieces that they chose to put together for this film didn't move me.
Got it. I heard that the movie was just okay at best.
Yeah, it was not a strong story. It was not a great um turn of this character. Like I feel like you could have given us a lot more with him taking this over from Chris Evans. But his
Yeah.
sidekick is a cutie, so I enjoyed that.
Oh, there's a sidekick.
Mhm.
Yay.
Mhm.
Okay. Well, definitely looking forward. Well, who am I kidding? No, no, I'm not. We'll see how this pans.
Delora, since we're talking superheroes, I have a quick question for you to wrap the episode because this was an icebreaker question during my work outing. If you had to be any character at Comic-Con, any character, who would you be?
Well, the first name that dropped on my mind is Storm, because
Same exact
every
answer I
black
gave,
girl,
baby. Same
every
exact
black girl,
answer I gave. That was my girl growing up. Couldn't tell me nothing
same.
about Storm.
A close second would be our girl from the Dora Milaje, the
Mm-hmm.
captain.
Good one.
That would probably be a close second, but yeah, Storm all day, every day. I didn't see Halle Berry's name up there. I'm like, are y'all introducing another Storm? Like, because
Are they
Black
gonna
Panther is
bring
there.
are they gonna bring the younger iteration who was in the Jean Grey version, that
Mm.
actress?
Well, Black Panther was there. Baku was on there. It was a long list of chairs. But yeah, in production. So,
Cool.
all right. Well, Ashley, what are we recapping for next
Well, I tell you, if my internet will behave, Lord, we are recapping
week?
Wicked Part 1. Because Part 2 isn't out yet, guys.
We're
But
good.
excited to dive into this. We already, after me and Delora went and saw it, gave a micro dose. So now
We
that it is
did.
available to officially stream on Peacock, it's time to dive into this and talk it through and get to sing Unlimited. Okay?
I love it. On my mind, I'm like, and I will be loathing for forever. Oh, I love it, love it, love it. Super excited. I was looking for something green, but I'm sorry, I'm not wearing the proper colors for this particular
Well,
recap.
my nails are pink. Does that make me Galinda? My hair is too curly for all the hair flips, though, for real, but we can make it work. All right, guys. Well, again, trying to get my internet together so we can come back and enjoy this recap. collectively. So apologies again for any glitches you experienced in this episode. Appreciate you for sticking with it. Please share it out with other folks. Any new listeners, like my coworker Jenica, if you're listening, thank you so much. Hey girl.
Thank you. Welcome.
Appreciate you guys for coming back to us on a semi-weekly basis. I think is what they're saying we are, semi-weekly, bi-weekly, to check out these new episodes and enjoy some recapping with Delora and Ashley. So we will be back with Wicked Part 1. Can't wait. See you then. In the meantime, as always, be blessed.
Bye.